Nolan, but they go the Cho instead. Now, we don't know just yet. Is it going to be Rome? Is it going to be parked in the XP lane like we saw Ruby DD do? I don't know. For Malaysia, I think it's better if it is Rome, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be better for Rome, especially considering, Yums has played the Cho a lot in, the domestic league in MPL Malaysia. We haven't seen Gojas play a whole lot of Cho, especially in the XP. So, I was about to say, you said the Minotaur. I was about to say, not a big fan of the Minotaur pick, especially for Yums. He's an aggressive guy, especially in this meta. You want him on a proactive pick. You don't want him to be reacting on a lot of these engages, a lot of the poke as well. But then they go for the Cho. Even though that does fall in the criteria that I just mentioned, proactive, initiation. I'm not a big fan of the Cho, and now, oh man, I was about to say I'm not a big fan of the Cho because against the Xavier, against the Roger, these two guys can just go for Purify, and then you're technically going to lose a lot of value. And then now there's a Masha that can dive in. There's going to be an Exborg here to answer through this damage output that Cambodia have. But again, if any of these carries, by the way, again, same thing that we saw from last game. If any of these short-range carries walk up, they're gonna get caught by an Onward, an Earthshatter, some of these taunts as well, some claws coming from the Roger, a Xavier immobility field, and last but definitely not least, the Thunder Pierce. You heard that right. Thunderclap plus Sky Piercer. That's what we saw from Lutpi in game number 1 of match number 1 on the Masha. And in game number 2 was banned out. So Cambodia taking a page. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, will Malaysia be able to equalize here and to take us to game number 3? Or will Cambodia eliminate Malaysia with a clean sweep, putting themselves onto the main stage for Iesf WEC24 Riyadh? It's Skies and a Nolan, a signature pick of his, but same goes for Lucas on the utility jungler for Cambodia. He was able to make it work in game 1. Let's see on the Fredrin if anything changes. Lucas, Concussive Blast, wants to try to hold and, at least equal the crazy clear speed of the Nolan here, but you can already see that Skies is level 3, a level ahead. Yum's already very aggressively invading the enemy jungle.
This is a good invade. They're most likely just going to get the retribution out from, Lucas here, and it looks like that's all they want to do. But also, Sario and Felix going to help bring the backup, and that's what we're talking about. One of the things that Malaysia, they
Lucas?
They get the full reset, so he doesn't want to use the retribution. I guess they get the information that he didn't either, and that he doesn't have orange buff. Lucas in trouble trying to get the turret, and that's not going to be enough. That was definitely a mistake coming out from Lucas. What happened there? And it's going to happen more. More punishes under the turret. Sorry, Felix might be next here in Malaysia. Talk about a strong start, a snowballing start. Exactly what they needed with this lineup.
What was that? Lucas, I'm actually kind of speechless there after watching that play. He had the angle already. The rest of the team had already bought him enough time, bought him enough space to actually go for it. And he decides to go for the other camp instead of utilizing Boxy's hold onto the orange buff. And now he's going to be behind quite a bit. And because of everybody rotating to help him, the whole team's going to be behind. Lucas kind of, gave Cambodia a hard time in the early game now. And now they're going to have to go and fight an uphill battle. They're 3,000 gold almost below, and Skies, he has no interest in going for the turtle. He wants to continue this deny. He wants to continue this punish from Lucas, and he'll do so. Lucas finally now using the retribution, but it's a bit too late, buddy. That window has closed, and now it's the Malaysian snowball that we all know and love.
He's level 3, Mirko, to, the level 6 of Skies right now. That is, concussive blast or not, like we were talking about, trying to keep up with Skies. At this point, you're just stuck trying to farm, trying to be in the jungle. And look at that way, Dragon already going to be used on boxing, able to survive with the flicker, but a flicker from Stormy, and now here comes Yums, goes in. The assertive guy goes in forward. Yums will pick up the next kill now, sitting on 4 kills for Malaysia in total. You're going to get this turtle as well. Lucas, not sure if he can really do anything with that, so he's just going to have to watch the turtle secured. Now Malaysia furthering the lead, and now they want to punish Lucas even more. Back for the orange buff. They're going to force him back. He's going to rely on boxing. Boxing now gets to level 4 available for this Edith. It looks like now top side run, the king going to be in trouble as he falls under the turret to Lolio. Meanwhile, Cambodia will just lose the buff here. It's just looking very grim already for Cambodia. 3.5 minutes in as Malaysia full snowball mode already.
3 minutes and it already seems like it's going to go to a game 3 again.
Yums goes in with Way of the Dragon. Nice pickup, Ra. You're not his big daddy this time, but they will punish Yums. Sorry, Felix comes in, but on the top side, Run the King can't run away from Stormy as he falls under the turret. And this is once again Malaysia just dominating on all sides of the map. Even the jungle, Lucas will not see a buff here as Skies furthers his lead. Level 8, almost level 9 against Lucas, level 5.
What a stomp this is, right? For Malaysia, they have a 5,000 gold lead at the 4th minute of the game. They're beating the clock at this point. I don't think I've seen a gold lead this massive this early on in the game. Usually it's still 2 to 3, and now it's so weird. Lucas wants to fight now.
Lucas again? I mean, we talked about the pick-off potential with a Cho pick, and it's happening time and time again in the hands of Yums. Even questionably, like, what is Lucas doing there at that point? I think he's just he's probably a little tilted with the way the early game went. I mean, he's not getting any buffs, any farm, and now Sarium Felix going to be dealing with the last insanity under the turret. Will flicker out, but it's still Stormy and Gojes here. Dawning Light going to try to help the fight, but it's not going to be enough. We'll go ahead and get some of these health bars back up, but look at this, Lucas. You want a buff, you're not going to get it because Yums even zoning him out. Lucas has to rely on the rest of the team to get here to help him. Just secure it, but look at the damage already coming out from Skies. They're going to fight under the tier 2. All for the orange buff, but they might punish him back as Skies does fall, but now Sarium Felix on the run. Won't be able to get away, but another kill gets picked up for Lucas, and it could be more. Run the King on the run for Stormy. Stormy one hit away, and he will get shut down. A turnaround for Cambodia. Some way, somehow, Malaysia overstays.
How do they do that? They won against a 5,000 gold lead, snowballing composition of Team Malaysia with a Nolan, a Valentina, an Export. This whole team was built to secure the early to mid game, and the fact that they had a 5,000 gold lead, man, Malaysia overstaying so much. The turtle was up top. They could have gone for the orange, but they decided to actually chase a bit too far, and that could prove to be costly for them, man. Stormy, that big shutdown, 4-0, given to the hands of Run the King. They're able to get the turtle, as we can see here from the live screen. But, man, they've lost so much momentum based on that play. All right, if we take a look at the gold lead, it's still not too bad. It's still a 4,000 gold lead for Team Malaysia. So they're still able to hold it down. It's not the worst. But Malaysia, remember, with this kind of composition, you're good even in the late game with the Moscow technically, but Cambodia are not just good in the late game. They're going to be excellent in the late game with that Xavier. The Xavier is going to be the key to victory here. If Malaysia don't end this within, 14 minutes? If Cambodia can actually just equalize the gold lead here as well, it's going to be great.
Once again, they're going to find a lot of CC on Yums, but also firing back to the backside, forcing Sarium Felix back. Gojes now just cooking him, but he won't actually pull the trigger on the last insanity. So still, Cambodia withstands some of the fight. I think, as you were saying, Miracle hold on now once again. Skies trying to find Boxing. Will be able to execute him with the Sky Piercer. So that's a kill down, a body down for Cambodia. Sarium Felix going to possibly jump in. Doesn't want to commit because meanwhile the top lane's going to be pushed in. Malaysia still playing around the lead that they have, even with Cambodia finding some wins across the map. They still have a massive gold deficit to work towards.
Okay, so still very, very good. Yums again.
Yums again. Look at this. Lucas in trouble. Sarium Felix trying to turn the tide onward into the air shatter, but they have no follow-up available. There they go. Jumps in. Run the King. They really want to fight this out. Once again, they still need time to get the items they need to match up against the firepower of Malaysia.
And now we're going to take a look at Loliel, who's already snowballing on this Moscow. The DHS already built up 3-item power spike for him. So at the 8th minute now, this is the proper 8th minute to go for the play that he went for in game number 1. Now he can actually go for the Spirit of Destruction. Now he can actually pop in onto 4 members, and maybe he'll be able to survive, actually. Still going to be tough, though, up against this composition. You have a lot of CC, a lot of damage from Felix, too. So you really can't count Cambodia out, despite them losing out so hard in the early game. They still have a lot of damage output to actually turn the tides for a lot of these skirmishes. But at least for the turtle, Malaysia is going to be safe. Cambodia will be forced to just go down below. That's all they can do. They can't go for any of these skirmishes. Not now. It's a desperate dawning light to maybe go for a steal, but it's not going to happen here. Malaysia secure the first lord of the game. 8 minutes in and 30 seconds. Still with an 8,000 gold lead too, man.
Yeah.
An absolute stomp for now, even despite that, you know, kind of like a small throw. It's a wishing lantern, by the way, for the Valentina. It's a new item coming in handy. Have to seize into the Sky Piercer for the Masha as well. These core items are still quite far away from being built, Naisu. Especially for Ra. He's not the big daddy this game. Not yet, right? He's got to wait for those items to be finished up. They're getting a little bit of damage onto Gorgeous, which is great before the Lord actually comes in. And Ra gets the Lightning Truncheon, but I think he'll need one more item to at least be online. 2 if maybe they want to turn the tides of this game. But Malaysia, they're building the waves in such a good way. Cambodia have good wave clear technically with a Xavier. But Malaysia could actually just go for the stomp, could go for the dive all the way. They have Yums, they have even a Last Insanity as well, that anti-CC.
Yep.
It seems they're going to do it.
You're going to get the shields off here. Lord now part of the fight in the backside, gets the kickoff once again. Yums might get caught out himself, though. It's going to get locked down a little bit before now the turret goes down. Last Insanity going to be used. Dawning Light already committed. Boxy goes down, but look at the backside again. Sorry, Felix will be chasing Lolil, and he can't get the kill. A couple hits away only. And meanwhile, Cambodia trying to hold on to this mid lane turret. They still have to deal with these minion waves pushing in. For Malaysia, happy with the assault so far, looking for more. Lolil will pick up the Wind of Nature. He might jump in. There's the Spear of Destruction as they Run the King, and Malaysia looks to take it, possibly for a game 3 if they can punch this one in. Still working on the bottom turret. Yums for the pressure on the Crystal, trying to get the attention, going for Ra. He does find him with the Way of the Dragon, buying enough time. The Immortality's going to pop. Malaysia still looking to possibly end it here, but they need more kills. They don't have enough waves pushing in for Cambodia. They'll actually defend and stay in the game.
Incredible value, though, still for Malaysia. The fact that they were able to take 3 base turrets with just the first Lord. And Lolil, we did see him go for that Spear of Destruction like we expected, right? Spear of Destruction in towards the back. Didn't find the kill onto Ra, but still, that was really, really good. They were able to pressure back line a lot. Cambodia had to really respect that, but still they were able to defend. With that big of a goal lead, you would expect Malaysia to be able to end the game, but that's why the wave clear coming in from the Xavier is just so valuable. It's still going to be really tough though for Cambodia to look for a full comeback here. 18 seconds for the Enhanced Lord, and with that Lord, it should be an end straight up for Malaysia. If they keep this lead in the 12th minute of the game as they get that Enhanced Lord, I really don't see a way where Cambodia can actually go for the defense unless Malaysia make a big throw happen. If they make a big mistake, right, around the dive for the end, but I can't see that happening here. I really can't, Naisu. It just feels like with this gold lead, with the advantage that you have in the macro as well because of the base turrets taken down. Oh, okay, that could have been an answer as well, by the way. If somehow Ra gets the Dawning Light to steal the Lord, yeah, that could have been an angle where they can actually try to look for a comeback, but that didn't happen, obviously. Malaysia didn't even let it go to become enhanced. Okay, so that actually makes it defendable.
It does. I think it does, but it makes it defendable in that sense, but still, Malaysia's so far ahead, man. I mean, look at their items. They could actually just, even with having Gorgeous just going with Last Insanity, it's going to disperse Cambodia so much that I think they might have a troubling time defending their base here, but let's find out if they can do it.
Lolil already has it with the Nature as well. He picked it up in the previous fight, so it's going to be very easy for him to actually deny some of this damage coming in from Felix. I think he'll have to go for Stormy, and Yum's already concealed in the back. Yep,
Yum's trying to find Ra, possibly going to be able to flick around and avoid it. They do drag the Lord bottom side. They might be able to buy themselves enough time. They have to deal with it, but Lucas is already down, and the Lord is still up, and they'll just focus on the Crystal, and Malaysia will take it to a game number 3 against Cambodia.
GG, well played to Team Malaysia for being able to come back after being down 1-0. There you go. That was the Malaysia we were expecting in game number 2, right?